Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I wanted to share today a conversation and a practice about the power of pause. I've been spending lots of time this week thinking and feeling into that. Let me tell you what I mean. I feel like the entire world is on override. Our nervous system's on override. People are impatient, anxious. There's more anxiety in the world right now than I've ever seen before. And we're being bombarded by all of these external circumstances, when really what needs to happen is we need to get quieter. We need to pause. We need to feel. We need to listen. Just recently, I was driving and I had my flicker on and I was trying to move into the left lane and someone honked at me. I had lots of space, scared the shit out of me. But this is what I mean. Like, where are people consistently rushing to? And what is that doing to our bodies? Well, it's wreaking havoc. And so, one of the greatest things that I love to do is set these intentions in my practices so that I can like download the feeling of it, share it with you so that you can begin to embody it. And then we take it off of our mats and we take it into the world. So today is the power of pause. And I want you to spend time paying attention to that. So at the top of our inhalation, there's always a short pause. At the bottom of our exhalation, there's a short pause. In between poses, like from one pose to the other, there can be a pause. But we're so conditioned to like move as fast as we can. I mean, there's even classes that are showing up like 45 minutes in and out. How much can we fill? So today we're going to go for about a half hour and we're really going to slow it down a little bit to start to embody more of the pause. And when you notice that your mind is wandering, notice that I didn't say if it wanders, but when it wanders, just sweetly bring it back to the breath. There's nothing else to do today. Each movement is initiated by our breath. And so have fun with it and just notice, because then the practice, and I just said this, then the practice is to take this off of our mats and play with it out there in the world. Like how we respond to something. If we're triggered by something, how quickly do we react to that? Because the questions I've been asking myself before I even respond is, does this even matter? What kind of point am I trying to make? Am I going to care tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, a year from now? And that is like really forcing me or allowing me to think about it internally. And then by the time I've like processed all that, my response that I'm putting back out is very, very different than being like triggered and anxious and moving quickly, like really paying attention. So come find your way into child's pose. As you exhale, pause at the bottom of your breath and then inhale fully. Pause at the top of your breath and then exhale fully. Do two more. Notice where the expansion is. Maybe even notice where there's no expansion. Feel the pressure of your forehead on your mat. You can also find a block to bring your forehead to if it's really hard to reach down. And then inhale, slide your way up to hands and knees. So we're going to take the count of 6. So you're going to inhale for the count of 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you're going to exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Can we do that with movement? Tilt the pelvis to look up. Inhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, round the back. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Curl your toes under, downward facing dog. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, beautiful. Pedal out your feet. First downward dog of the day. Maybe. Come up onto your toes and lift your heels, bend your knees, and soften the upper back. Oh, and then pedal the feet out. Straighten the left leg, draw the top of the left thigh bone back. Inhale, reach the right leg up, bend the knee, open the hip, make big circles in one direction. And then noticing, even if we're not counting the breath, notice how slowly you're moving. Notice if it's the opening, that's your inhalation or exhalation. So at any point that I asked you a question, you were so present in that moment that you would be able to tell me what was going on. And then big circles in the other direction with your knee. Try not to lean onto one side. Beautiful. Come back through center. Lunge your right foot forward outside of your hands and inhale, right arm up and twist. Pause at the top. Take the tops of the ears back and breathe. Long exhalations. Even when we're holding the pose, the breath is still moving through the body. Maybe there's movement. Maybe you've decided on stillness. But what is the breath doing? And then slowly touch down. Come down on your back knee, heel toe your right foot to the center, and inhale, reach the arms up. As you exhale, soften from the pelvis down towards the feet. Inhale from the pelvis, reach. And exhale, hands come down, straighten the front leg, all on your exhalation. Take one full breath here. And exhale, try and soften a little bit more. Slide your foot back. Find your way downward facing dog. Left leg comes up, bend the knee, open the hip. Start to make circles. Make sure that you're not holding your breath, only at the top and at the bottom for a moment, and then the other direction. Oh. Lunge your foot to the outside of your left hand, and then inhale and twist. Any modifications are always welcome. Knee down if that feels appropriate. Head back. Use the exhalation to release. It's the part where you get to let go. Not rushing today. And then slowly heel toe your front foot back into the middle. Shift your weight back as you exhale and bow. Take a full breath right here. And exhale and soften. So many times we're so interested in just rushing to the next pose, to the next thing. It is a reflection of how we're showing up in the world. I know, I see it, and I'm actually living it. And these days, I'm spending more time in quiet, more time in the pause, to hear more, to be more present. And then ground your foot. This time, you're going to step forward and fold. Let the knees be soft. Let the head go. Can shake or bounce a little bit. Clasp your elbows. Beautiful. Inhale and rise. Reach the arms all the way up. And exhale, hands to heart. Inhale. Exhale, bow, touch the earth. Inhale. Exhale, right leg back. Scissor the legs together, bring your hands to your hips. And if you need to modify, you're going to come down on your back knee. Let the back heel be a little bit more lifted, but bend the front knee. And then shift. Find the place that's going to allow you to be here, kind of in the void. The void and the pause can be interchangeable, but it's the moment where you just stop long enough to feel. And we don't do that enough. We're constantly shifting and moving. One more breath right here. Push off of the back leg to come forward. Inhale. Exhale, bow. Inhale, look up. Exhale, second side. Take a moment. Use the transition with your breath. It is part of the practice. But if we take our time, we're going to find more stability. That's true in the life we're living off of our mats. If we take our time and really feel into it, we're going to respond differently to our actions, to our words, to our behaviors. Let yourself settle a little bit deeper. When we slow down enough, we get to realize, like, where can I refine this just a little bit to align with the greater or bigger vision in my body? You know where you're holding on to. You might even recognize what needs to stabilize more, and then push off of the back leg to come back up. Inhale. Exhale, bow. Inhale. Exhale, right leg back. This time, come into your heel to arch stance and windmill the arms. Bend your front knee, gaze over the left hand, warrior two. I was thinking about this. I have seen more people lose their shit in the last little while than I have seen in a long time. And it's because everybody is on edge. Could you imagine if everyone just integrated some sort of practice that connected them back to themselves? How would they respond? You know what it feels like after a yoga practice. Extend the arms up. If they're not already, bring your backhand down. Open the palm and reverse. Take your left hand to support your head today. So pull up on the back of your head. Oh, bend the front knee a little bit more. Add a little bit of traction here. Rest your head. Feel the support to open up the front of the body. And then inhale, come on up. Exhale, touch the earth, unplug, step forward. Bend your knees, interlace your hands, stretch your arms up and over. Oh. Slowly release, touch down. Second side, left leg back. I'm going to move directions so I can still face you. Front heel lines up with the middle of your back foot. Windmill the arms. Bend your front knee, gaze over the fingers of your right hand. Make sure your alignment is stable, meaning front heel lines up with the middle of your back foot. Your feet are grounded. When we are firmly planted where we're supposed to be, we respond also in a very different way, in a much more grounded, integrated way, maybe more like the truest version of ourselves. It's when we're triggered and ungrounded and not paying attention. Backhand down, open the palm in reverse, cup your head again. Feel the support. Lift up from the elbow more than anything. Bend into the front knee. One more breath. Release. Bring your hands to your hips. Straighten the front leg. Bring your toes in so your hips are open to whatever side you're facing. Elbows back, shoulders back, and bow. Now let your head go. Keep moving the inner thighs back and bow a little bit deeper. And then slowly pivot back to the front of your mat. Plant your hands, step back plank. So you're at the top of your push-up position, and the modification is to be on your knees. You don't need to struggle. Draw the belly in towards your spine and lower all the way down. Ground the tops of your feet and inhale, lift your heart. It can be a baby lift. And then exhale, find your way back into child's pose. Maybe you notice it already feels a little bit more grounded. Longer exhalations will calm the nervous system. So anytime you are feeling anxious, you are feeling rushed, it is feeling ungrounded, and you need to take a breath, lengthen your exhalations more so than your inhalation. So usually I gauge it by double. So whatever your inhalation is, you're going to double your exhalation. Beautiful. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, we can speed it up a tiny bit, but as long as you're linking your breath with your movement and you're staying present, you can still be grounded. There is still a pause in the movement, in the breath, in the response, in the action, however you are finding your way. Bend your knees, lift your hips, make your way back to the top of your mat. Inhale and look up, and exhale and bow. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Let's take a couple more standing poses. Front heel lines up with the middle of your back foot again, right leg back. This time both legs are straight. Reach the arms. Now, make sure that you're not locking out your knee. A lot of times people will say right here that their knee is bothering them. Ground the mount of your big toe and micro bend your knee a little bit. Make sure your knee is still tracking the middle of the ankle. Keeping your front leg straight, open the palm of the left hand and reach. Bring your hand to your shin and extend the right arm up. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me how low you go. If you're here, you're not opening to the side. The higher up you go, the more the upper body is going to open. And I'm looking for more expansion in your body, not to be closed off, not to compromise your breath anyway. Reach. Reach through the top hand as much as you're reaching down through the bottom hand. Pause. Take a few breaths. And then inhale and come up. Exhale, bend your front knee, elbow to thigh. Reach the arm over your ear. If you want to move deeper, your hand can come to the inside. If that feels like it's compromised something and you're thinking how much longer, then back it off a little bit. Tuck the tailbone. Be more into the back body And take 2 more breaths. Exhale, touch the earth. Unplug your back foot, ground the back knee. Take your right hand off of your mat, lean into the right hand, and start to open up the left side. Now, option 1 is going to be to hold it right here. Option 2 is going to be to bend your back knee and with your right hand grab your foot. And this option isn't always for everybody. Push your foot into your hand and your hand into your foot. And take a couple more breaths here. And slowly release. Point the toes, lift the back knee up. Step in smaller stance. Come up a little bit higher if you need to, and your hips are squared off towards the earth. Pyramid pose. Bend your elbows. Lay your forehead down. Keep the integration of scissoring the legs together so that you're moving from the belly of your muscle. One more breath. Step your right foot forward. Look up. If you do want to take a flow through here, go for it. Otherwise, just pause here for a moment. And then we'll meet onto the other side. So left leg back, right foot forward, heel to arch stance. Again, making sure that your front knee is tracking over the middle of your ankle. The front leg is straight. Extend the arms up. Open the palm and start to hinge forward. And then bring your hand here. I'm going to show you with a block. Opening up the upper body. And then extend the left arm. Now, my left hip is a little sore today, so I'm actually going to bring my toes in more, which is going to bring more internal rotation. And I'm telling you that because if there's anyone that's having tight hip flexor or pulling, if you do more internal rotation on the back leg, it's actually going to soften the hip flexor a little bit more. This is like a therapeutic for the hip flexor. And then slowly breathe. Your gaze can be down or up towards the top hand. And then inhale to come up. Exhale to bend the front knee and reach the left arm over. If you want to touch down to the inside of your foot, go for it. I'm going to stay a little bit more upright today. Tailbone down. Oh, God, that feels good. When I slow down enough, it even gives me opportunity to feel more, to be more in my body, to arrive to a greater place of stability. So much power in the pause. It gives us so much feedback. And then exhale, touch the earth, unplug your back foot, ground down. Take your left hand, lean in to the hand, open up the right shoulder, bend the knee if that feels appropriate to grab your foot. If not, you're just leaning into the left hand and opening up the right side. One more breath. And then slowly release. Find your way back into downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, plank. Exhale, lower down. Ground the tops of your feet. Inhale, lift the heart. Maybe it's a little bit bigger. Exhale, child's pose. Coming back to something that feels familiar. Coming back to something that's going to give us more permission to pause. Letting our nervous system regulate. Long exhalations. Inhale, hands and knees. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your feet forward to the top of your mat. Exhale, bow. Inhale and rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Okay, can we find the power of pause in a balancing pose? A little bit harder. Ground your left foot. Lift and spread your toes. And slowly bring your right foot as high up the inner thigh as possible. Push your foot into your hand into your knee. Not your knee, your thigh. I was thinking, don't push it onto the knee. So have it above or below. If it feels okay, go for it, but it might be better to be a little below. Hands come to your heart, maybe arms extend. Now there's going to be wavering. So the idea is there wavering and then you just give yourself permission to fall out? Or can you exhale right into the middle and try and slow the breath down enough that your whole body stops to soften? That's the power of pause. We find that steadiness pause in our breath at the bottom and the top. And if the breath is steady, then the body finds steadiness. One more breath. And then slowly release. Beautiful. Okay, second side. Set your foot. Ground through the roots. Bring your left foot as high up as you can, and you can help it there. Push your foot into your hand into your foot. Arms at your heart. Arms extend. They can be down also if that's going to give you more stability. Recognize that there's going to be some wavering. Each side offers different feedback. And can you find the steadiness of your breath? There you go. Did you see that land? Can you feel that? Stay with it. Come back if you fall out. Permission to come back every single time. And then release. Beautiful. Shake out your legs. Nicely done. Back to the top of your mat. Inhale and rise. Exhale and bow. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bend your knees, have a seat. Practices don't need to be long. We can bring these intentions into whatever we're doing. If you are going on, let's say, a nice long run, you could still have the power of pause. And you can focus on the longevity of your breath, of your inhales and your exhales. And you can, look ahead and be in the moment as you're running. It could be right here in meditation. It could be in the garden, being very present and staying connected. We just so happen to be using the practice of yoga here. I keep saying that over and over again. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Slide your left knee back. Walk your hands towards your butt. Lift your chest towards your shin and flex your right foot. So this position is the same position as thread the needle and the same position as pigeon. Pigeon, for many people, is a little bit challenging with having weight on their knee. So this takes the weight and the pressure off completely. So just know that there's so many options in the same form that will be more accessible. And then shoulders back. And breathe. And then extend the left leg out. Bring your right foot to the outside. Give your knee a hug with the opposite arm. Draw the right hand behind you. Draw the low back up and in. And exhale, twist from the belly. And then lengthen a little bit more. Twist from the chest. Take the shoulder back. Pause at the top of your inhalation and at the bottom of your exhalation. Notice your breath. And then slowly come back to center. Bring the sole of your right foot to the inner thigh. Lift the right arm up and exhale, fold across. Hold your outer edge of your foot or even just your outer shin. Lay your forehead down. Draw into yourself. Stay with your breath. And then inhale and come up. Extend the right leg, cross the left ankle over the right second side. Number 4. Chest comes as close to the shin as possible. Keep your foot flexed. Shoulders back. And then slowly release. Foot comes across. Give the knee a hug. Left hand comes behind you. Draw the low back up and in. Root into your fingers as you twist from the belly. And then inhale and lengthen. Exhale, twist from the chest. And then slowly come back to center. Bring the sole of your left foot to the inner thigh, and then reach the left arm up and come forward. Holding wherever you can onto the straight leg, bend your elbows. And stay with your breath. Notice when the mind starts to wander. Notice what it feels like to maybe even hold your breath at the top or at the bottom. And then slowly come on up. Scoot yourself forward, lay all the way back down, give your knees a hug. Gently rock side to side. And then bring your hands onto your knees, make big circles. Notice more what that feels like on the back of the body. And then the other direction. And then bring your left foot to the floor. Interlace your hands behind your right leg and extend the right leg up. Push the back of the leg into your hands and your hands into your leg. And let go. Keep the connection. Notice the back body on the ground. Here supporting you. Bend the knee, bring the sole of your right foot down, and switch sides. And then slowly release. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Take your arms up over your head. Drop your knees to the right. Grab your left wrist and stretch. Take a couple breaths right here. Pausing at the bottom and then pausing at the top. Come back to center and go to the other side. Come back to center and extend your legs. Bring your hands onto the front body. So one hand at your heart and one hand on your belly. We're going to do a little bit of a breathing practice, and it's called 3-part breath. So as you lay there, just take a few moments, just breathe. We're going to do this all together. Okay, at the top of your inhalation now, hold your breath just for a moment, and then exhale fully. And then inhale into the belly, pause, inhale, pause, and inhale all the way to the top of your chest. Top of the collarbones, and then pause. And then you're going to exhale very slowly for the count of 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're filling from the bottom up and emptying from the top. Inhale, belly. Pause. Inhale, center of the heart. Pause. Inhale all the way to the top of the collarbones. And pause. And then very slowly exhale. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do that a few more times. Inhale, belly. Pause. Inhale, center of the heart. Pause. Inhale all the way to the top of the collarbones. Pause. And exhale. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more time. Inhale, belly. Pause. Inhale, center of the heart. Pause. Inhale all the way to the top of the collarbones. Pause. And exhale fully. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Find your own natural rhythm of your breath. Call that home base. And notice what you feel like after this little practice of movement and breath to ignite the power of pause. Just notice. What's the mind feel like? What does the heart feel like? What does the body feel like? And the truest practices of yoga are off of our mats. And so I leave you with 5 contemplation questions that relate back to the pause. If you can quickly go through those when we're out into the world and we're triggered or someone cuts us off or we notice some unkindness or we are feeling rushed, it will change the way you respond. And so the first one is, how important is this? This, whatever I'm in, how important is this right now? The second question is, will this even matter? In an hour, in a day, in a week, in a month, in a year, will this even matter? The third question is this worth it? Is my response to something worth it? Is the conversation worth it? Is it even worth it? The fourth one is, what am I trying to accomplish? So if you know what you're trying to accomplish, whether it's proving yourself right, then you've got to ask, does it even matter? Or you want to let someone know something that might matter. What are you trying to accomplish? And the last one, such a good one, is, where is this coming from? If we can recognize what we're being mirrored and where it's coming from, we can stop it. We can respond differently. And that's when the power of pause offers so much reflection into who we are and how we want to show up. Thank you. Namaste.